Imagine someone using a hairdryer to dry the paint on their walls. Sounds like a modern art project, right? Well, it's actually just a lack of common sense. Today, we dive into the quirky world where common sense isn't so common. Understanding these signs isn't just about getting a good laugh. It's crucial for navigating social waters and making sound decisions. From misuse of everyday items to ignoring basic safety, the signs are all around us. Stay tuned as we explore the 7 hilarious yet educational signs that someone might just be missing the common sense gene. Ever seen someone use a smartphone as a hammer? Yes, that happens. Today, we're diving into the curious world where common sense takes a back seat, and everyday items are repurposed in the most bewildering ways. Imagine this. Someone decides their dishwasher isn't just for dishes anymore. Why not throw in a few dirty baseball caps? Sure, it sounds innovative, but let's face it, those caps are more likely to come out looking like a modern art project than wearable gear. And then, there are those who take multitasking to a new level. Picture someone using their laptop as a dinner tray, balancing a steaming plate of spaghetti over a keyboard. That's a recipe for disaster, not dinner. It's not just about the mess, it's a quick way to turn a pricey piece of technology into an expensive paperweight. So next time you spot someone trying to toast bread with an iron, you know what's missing. Why did the person cross the road without looking? Because they left their common sense at home. It might sound like a joke, but ignoring basic safety can be a glaring sign that someone is skipping out on common sense. Take, for instance, the simple act of not wearing a seatbelt. It's one of the first safety lessons many of us learn, yet some choose to ignore it, risking severe consequences over a minor inconvenience. Or consider the curious case of touching wet paint. Signs and common knowledge suggest waiting for it to dry, yet there always seems to be someone with a paint-stained hand, a perfect print of impatience and poor judgment. And then they're standing dangerously close to the edge of a platform. Despite clear warnings and the obvious risk of severe injury, it's startling to see how often people disregard this advice, teetering on the brink of a real disaster. Safety isn't just a set of rules. It's the essence of common sense. Safety first or common sense lost? Buying a luxury car while living in a rented apartment might sound stylish, but does it make sense? Often, our financial choices reveal more about our understanding of value and practicality than we might wish to admit. Take, for example, someone who splurges on the latest smartphone model every year, using money that could have otherwise gone towards an emergency fund or paying down debt. It's a shiny, exciting purchase, but it might lead to financial instability down the line. Or consider the allure of designer clothes and accessories. It's easy to be tempted by a trendy handbag or a pair of high-end shoes. But when these purchases are made in lieu of setting aside money for rent or groceries, it's a clear sign of misplaced priorities. And let's not forget about those who invest heavily in hobbies or collections without considering their actual financial capacity. Financial wisdom isn't just about earning money, it's about making smart decisions with the money you have. Keep your wallet wise and your common sense wiser. Planning to clean the entire house 10 minutes before guests arrive? Optimistic, isn't it? This kind of last-minute rush is a classic example of how some people grossly underestimate the time and effort required for tasks. It's not just about cleaning, it extends to many aspects of life. Take travel, for instance. Ever know someone who thinks they can leave the house at 8:50 for a 9 o'clock appointment 10 miles away? They're not just battling traffic, but also the very concept of time itself. Or consider the enthusiastic souls who volunteer for tasks at work, piling on responsibilities without a glance at their already bursting calendars. Their days are packed, yet they say yes to organizing a team lunch, preparing a report, and attending 3 meetings before noon. This habitual underestimation isn't just poor planning. It's a lack of common sense which overlooks the plain realities of time and personal limits. Time waits for no one, and common sense doesn't either. Ever told a joke at a funeral? Timing is everything, and so is common sense. When words falter and tongues slip, we often witness a glaring lack of common sense in communication. Imagine someone cracking a loud joke during a solemn occasion. Not only does it disrupt the event, but it also raises eyebrows about the speaker's sensitivity and awareness. Or consider those moments when someone shares far too much personal information in a professional setting. It's not just about discomfort, it's about understanding the boundaries of context and relationship. These are the times when oversharing can lead to raised eyebrows and a quick shuffle of feet towards the exit. Listening, or rather, the failure to listen, is another communication pitfall. Engaging in a conversation isn't just about waiting for your turn to speak. It involves actively listening, processing, and responding appropriately. Those who miss this beat often find themselves misunderstood or worse, disregarded in discussions. Speak wisely, or you might just speak nonsense. All right, we've had our fun exploring these common sense catastrophes. Let's take a moment to quickly recap the signs we've covered that might suggest someone is a little short on common sense. First up, there's the creative yet questionable misuse of everyday items, like using a fork to comb your hair. Next, we dove into ignoring basic safety, where skipping a helmet while biking seems like a breeze until it's not. Then, we discussed those poor financial choices, like buying a boat when you can barely afford your weekly groceries. Following that, we looked at the misjudgment of time and effort, where planning to bake a 3-tier cake an hour before the party starts is an ambitious yet flawed strategy. And lastly, the ever-painful communication blunders. Thinking that speaking louder and slower will help someone understand your foreign language. Each of these examples highlights a unique facet of what might be a shortage in common sense. Remember, common sense might not be so common after all. Thanks for watching, and keep your sense sharper than your wit.